Good evening, good morning, good day. We are the Energetic Brew. I am Zane, a rising Pisces, or sorry, Sun Pisces. You're the rising Pisces, Rochelle.
I
I was
love it.
into your intro.
That's okay.
I'm a rising Virgo, Sun Pisces, Moon Capricorn, and from those, if you can tell, we are here to talk about astrology and scramble up the table a little bit here and there in our own birth charts. But we are here to help you live into that chart that is your snapshot. And this is just a little bite-sized piece of that event and things that are going on in the now. And since we will move into your intro, Rochelle.
Thank you. I think it's so good. The tables have turned and Mercury retrograde energy is here. You might notice words might spill all over the place, just like Zane has given us a beautiful example of. Thank you for showing it up and witnessing yourself as sometimes we can get jarred like that. And knowing the transits as they're coming can help us. I am a rising Pisces, a Capricorn sun, and a Libra moon. I just about said I'm a Capricorn moon. Did you
Yeah,
see that?
yeah, I saw that.
I was thinking about it so much because as we're recording, we had the Capricorn moon recently, which has really kind of jostled and jarred things up a little bit in our charts. But nonetheless, it's okay because no,
You're breaking up on my end a little bit.
the salve and the medicine in what's happening. So we have a beautiful group here with us that we love to check in with. We are going to be talking about some transits that are happening in Leo season. So you have found yourself in our Leo season gathering. Part of what we love to do is we like to talk about the season that's coming so that we can start to have body tools that we'll share with you just to help to navigate. And if you're wanting a little bit more personalized attention, we have lots of options for you. And if this is the first time you've seen us, every month we meet and we gather in this free Zoom space. And we want to really help you, as Zane said, to live into your chart, to live into the transits. But the real bigger kicker that no other astrologers do like we do is that we're giving you some body tools so that you can start to have the assimilation of your physical body with these transits. So we're going to pause this for a moment, do a check in with our community members that are here live, because that's pretty important to us. Would you say, Zane?
Yes, and checking in so then they can have their own input and have that like two-on-one conversation since there's two of us. It's not really a one-on-one, but it's a community. So everybody gets into the play and paying attention and asking those curiosity questions of what does this mean? What about this going further in depth into things? And then if there was something that didn't sound right or needing further depth in, we can do that behind the scenes and actually enjoy it a little bit more and have that not just talking to a camera here, but knowing that there is someone behind this camera watching this video is also really important for us. But then also those that show up live and honoring their time as well.
Yeah. So be sure to continue to watch. We're going to pause and then we're going to come right back and we're going to talking about what will be happening in Leo season. And Zane, do we tell you tons of information? Is that what our goal is to give lots of information or
Just tiny bite-sized pieces. That's what we try and do. We have done many of classes, and when we began this, it felt really overloading, really a lot of information all at once. But we've narrowed it down to just four. Just four. That can be a big number for some, but four is a good stable foundation number when it comes to numerology and that sense of grounding ourselves and being able to ground ourselves into the transits that are coming up for the next season.
I love it. So stay tuned. We will be right back. The things that you'll want to grab is water if you don't have it, because we'll be working with the electrical system. We want to be able to stay well hydrated for better results, and your chart. And then also, if you have any questions, leave them down in below the Zoom. I guess it's not, we're on Zoom right now,
We're on
but
Zoom.
it's inside of the YouTube part. So thanks so much, and we'll be right back.
And we're back. And the season that we are talking about today is Leo season, as I'm sure Rochelle probably weaved into our conversation a little bit. But, being her son, I may have zoned out a little bit for it.
Well
And
played. Well played. Shout out to all the parents out there working with their children. It is it's actually quite pleasurable actually working with you, because now you're starting to find your sense of humor. Maybe because it's stimulating for you thinking about what Leo season does in your chart. So if you don't have your chart yet, make sure to grab it and let's just talk about what Leo season is about, what's in store for us. Same.
and well, Leo season. Leo is about creativity, self-expression, confidence, and leadership. So this Leo season is really about stepping into our leadership, how we're showing up in that spotlight, and being playful with it, because that's also a big keyword when it comes to Leo is playfulness. As Leo likes to play, be visible and loud sometimes. I don't know if anybody that you know is a Leo and how they might be a little bit more louder than others, standing out, but not loud in an annoying way. Maybe if they are in the wrong relationship of Leo, but loud in the way of you're going to see me, and it may not be vocally loud, but the presence might be loud.
I'm a sixth house Leo, so it's like my daily life. I can be loud. I've also got Jupiter in there as well, so I agree with you. It's like hear me roar. What do I have to say? And depending on where that is in your chart, it might show up in a different expression. And sometimes, yeah, think about Gramps. Gramps is a Leo sun, and he has a very loud presence, though not always necessarily verbal. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of, I just wanted to input that because I thought I got a good chuckle out of that.
Yeah. And giving me an excellent point to try and jump back into that of where else to go besides the fact of, yeah, Leo's that enhancing our vitality, moving forward in the sense of our clarity and purpose. It's also ruled by the sun. So the sun is giving an extra empowerment here. And those that are really still learning, Leo is a fixed fire sign. And that fixed energy is that energy where we are in the middle of it all. Thinking about the seasons where we're coming into the middle of summer, being a little bit more stubborn, determined, and feeling it all at once. And we're solid in who we are and what is happening right now. Not this, maybe a little bit cold, maybe a little bit warm. Although we have lately here had a little bit of that weather, but we're not quite into that Leo season as of recording this. And so it will start to find the consistency to it. Just like how we will find the consistency of what we want to do and show up. When it comes to that vitality and boldness and being authentic with ourselves and those around, as Leo wants to be authentic and true, not just putting on a show. And that sense of, as Leo can become a performer, really solidly a performer and trying to show up and just please others and not self.
Rules like when it looks at our body too, it's like matters of the heart in a sense. And being able to like, what are our matters of the heart? Uh, as we're recording this in the last 24 hours, I made a huge decision that is going to impact Zane for quite some time, and probably also our family. It'll impact quite for some time. There was an opportunity. He had shared some details about what he wanted. I also shared some ideas about what I wanted to, too. So speaking and reaching out to those parents that are there that are maybe at a different point of what parenting might look like, there's this real determination that I have as we're approaching Leo season is like, how do I honor the matters of my heart, but also how do I matter the hearts of others? And how do I connect with that connection? Because that's where Leo rules, is the heart. So it's like, what can you feel really passionate about? What kind of things have been showing up that you are passionate about, or maybe that you're learning about yourself? This is going to be a really good time in Leo season to really go into the depths of the heart, having some passion. So what are you passionate about? What is it that you're wanting to cultivate, especially when it comes to, and I'm going to say the word pride, and what I mean by of like in the lion's pride, in that sense of community. What are you wanting to create? What are you wanting to feel like you can be passionate about, and to immerse yourself in that? So there was an opportunity for a new vehicle to come into our collection of vehicles that had a completely different purpose than any other vehicle that we already have existing. And it kind of happened so quickly today that it actually made us a little bit tardy, but it was something that I had heard him say that he wanted to do, and that was to start to help others with another service, not just our body care and astrology readings and mentorship, but actually starting to beautify other people's lawns. And he has a couple of lawn care customers already. So it was like, a new truck and trailer is a great freaking idea. So this is me getting stimulated in how I create structure, daily ritual and routine. And for him, it's more of the hiddenness. And so it's like this hidden opportunity came. And also being able to go, yeah, I can step into this. I can talk to my subconscious and step into this leadership. Would you agree with that, Zane?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree with that. As yeah, that part of activating that, and the other piece of this Leo season is going to be activating other parts of my chart to step up a little bit more in that leadership role when it comes to career and resources
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So depending on where Leo shows up in your heart, in your chart and in your heart, if you have Leo in the first house, this is going to be about your body, how you embody who you are. If it's in your second house, it's going to be about your personal resources. If it's in your third house, it's short-term travel, education. Maybe it's time to start to subscribe to our membership and get little voice notes each month. About your chart and the goals and how to use the transits. If it's in the fourth house, if Leo's in the fourth house, this is your house of home. This is your foundation. This could also be a little bit about your childhood, too. There could be some things coming up that you are going to review and revisit potentially, especially with all the retrograde energy we have. If it's in house five, it's about your passion and how do you create. It can also look at it the house of children. So if you are a parent, then it's about children for you. If you're not a parent, then it's that inner child work. Both of those can be happening simultaneously. House six, it's daily rituals. It's our structure. It's like, how do we get things done day to day? Zane, you want to take house 7 through 12? And I'm just
Yep.
going to grab my charger.
Okay. House 7 is relationships and contracts. This is also the house of marriage as well, it can be referred to. House 8 is transformation and shared resources. This also can go into the dreams and subconscious as well. And so that bringing up that highlighting and creating a bigger dream or transformation. Ninth being a long-term travel, like higher or and higher education. this can be also like spiritual education too. And long travel can be like more than a night trip kind of idea. Doesn't have to be overseas. With the Leo, it might be feeling like you need to go overseas order to have a trip, but you don't need to go that far to travel. Some of us only need to travel a day and we feel like we're somewhere new. So whatever feels far for you when it comes to travel. As Leo is about authentic, being yourself, and what feels right for you, not what others think. 10th is career and goals. So Leo being here is really highlighting how to step into your career and goals, how to shine brightly to achieve them. The 11th is community and friends. This is the area to really pay attention and play attention on, are you with the right community? Are you showing up in your community authentically, or are you putting on a performance a little bit, or doing things in more prideful way just to seek praise? And 12th, the 12th house kind of feeds in that sense of seeking that sense of praise, as it's about endings, karma. It's also part of the health access and subconscious. So all of those pieces of building into, how do I take care of my health, subconscious, and stepping up and highlighting that subconscious and bringing it forward to the conscious and bringing them into actual voice and voicing those deep thoughts in the appropriate manner. When it comes to Leo being in the 12th house, as this is where it sits for me, and it's been that idea of, how do I stop one thing, come to an end to it, and start a new thing, being this little bit of a business venture in a sense that's coming up for me more in Leo season than the immediate now of Cancer season. So yeah, that part of stepping into something new, but order to step into something new, you need to let go of something old. And with that, if you have any questions or feel like you've missed out on anything with Leo season, or we missed out on anything, feel free to comment below, as we are going to check in with the live chat here. And well, those that are live, and we will be back in a moment to go into the moon cycle that is happening when it comes to Leo season. So we will be back in a moment. And we're back after a really good conversation with those that are here live of how we are connecting in our community space, and also how to integrate this Leo season personally for those that are live, and then also kind of making a few other planned conversation bits that were like, we need to dive into that deeper off camera when we don't have a time set frame here for us to keep us on track of making sure you, the viewer here, get this recording and the tad bit pieces that are coming up for Leo season when it comes to the new moon and full moon that are happening during Leo season. And the first one to happen is the new moon on July 24th. Take it away, Rochelle. What is this new moon got in store for us?
I love this. So there's this real connection again to the matters of the heart. So depending on what house Leo lands for you, you might be wanting to set some personal intentions a little bit different. I'm going to give you a generic right now, and that's really about having intentions of how can I be more visible? How can I be more passionate and unapologetic to ourselves? This is a time for self love, caring for the heart. So maybe adding a little bit of cacao in your ceremony, in your honoring of the new moon as you plant those seeds, having a little bit of chocolate if that's something else that kind of calls to you, and being able to understand that this new moon is for setting intentions around our artistic ability, our self-worth. How can we like let our hair down a little bit more and to create more ease and more confidence? So during this full moon, or during this new moon on the 24th of July, I'm just looking at my notes, there is this little bit of, not by degree but by sign, because Uranus isn't like just on to Gemini a little bit. There's a little bit of squared energy here. So it's just, how can I, in a sense, have the aspects of who I want to be in that rebellious self. And I know Zane's sort of looking at the chart in a way, because Uranus is just left Gemini, will come back again. So I'm just allowing some themes of that inner rebel. How, what is our connection to technology, and how is that sense of technology can we honor within our body? This is going to be really important for us to play attention to when it comes to feeling our heart, having some connection to some cardio. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it is doing like a HIIT training or doing something a little bit different to really activate the heart, to shake loose what may be holding us back from really setting intentions to the things we're wanting to ask for. With this new moon, giving ourselves an action plan to our truths too. What kind of actions can we take that will lead us into the what is truth for us, and what do we value when it comes to the details of what we're asking for? So some of the prompts we might say to ourselves is like, where can I lead with my heart? And what wants to be expressed? I think that kind of like sums it up. So then you can get into that full moon in Aquarius.
Yeah, and this full moon in Aquarius is happening on August 9th, where this can be a balance between individuality and the collective belonging, and feeling like we belong within our community, or feeling like we are our own personal being within our community. Where this full moon, the sun being in Leo, the moon being in Aquarius. So the sun really lighting up our vitality, our individuality, and the moon bringing in our emotions to the collective and community, and how to handle that plurality, and being able to bounce back and forth, and that sense of duality, and bringing that sense of belonging when it comes to the full moon, when it comes to the that part of releasing what no longer serves us, and within this full moon, as the full moon is about releasing what no longer is serving us so we can step into new power come the next new moon. And so during this new moon, we have the Mercury, or this full moon, we have quite a bit happening with within the transits that are happening here. Nothing exact, everything by sign. It's either showing up as a support, both supportive, a trine and sextile aspects, where a trine is like supporting each other, understanding where the other's coming from, and this sextile coming in as a harmonious understanding how the other works, but not working the same way, but able to communicate in this harmonious way, back and forth when it comes to this full moon, giving us more of that sense of being able to step in when it comes to our individuality, but then also stepping back. Am I becoming a part of the collective and being myself, or am I losing myself in the collective?
That's potent. I agree with you completely. And because there's so much retrograde energy too, like allowing this full moon to help us to like maybe look at ego driven patterns that have blocked us or that have maybe also impacted us. So there's this real connection to wanting that sense of freedom and then what has been holding us back. And it might not be an outward expression during this full moon. The same with the new moon too. These two connections with the moon during this time in Leo season could be really about an inward pull. Would you agree with that, Zane?
Yeah, that inward pull and really asking ourselves, am I do I have too much fear in being too different or not fitting into that collective setting when it comes down to it? As those are some important pieces to kind of look at. Is Leo is about being authentic, but then if we're not fully authentic, there might be that hesitation that we might come off too much for other people, whether it be excitement levels too high, or maybe you're too laid back feeling as complete opposites, or maybe you have complete crazy ideas and don't want to share them because you're like, what if they think I'm too crazy and I should be in maybe some sort of facilitation that
Facility,
handles people like me?
institution
Yeah,
of some sort. Yeah, like
some
some
sort.
nut house.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling that way and you have some guidance or needing some guidance, please do reach out. Let's get you some readings and also just being able to work with this energy. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, oh, wow, I'm resonating with this message, reach out. You don't have to do this alone. Before we wrap up, let's just talk a couple little points about Venus and Cancer. You put some really beautiful notes together because this will be happening sort of just after the new moon and also after the full moon. And this whole transit of Venus into Cancer really pairs up well with the new moon and the full moon about when it comes to self care. How do we emotionally take care of ourselves? And how do we deepen those ancestral bonds? So there's this real connection to self love right now. It's almost a little bit of a hype, but at the same time, it's so needed because I think collectively in society we're constantly always putting other people first, and so there's this real, I'm guilty of it, especially getting this truck and trailer, but there was a hidden part of it that also served me as well. So this is just like, again, learning how to approach situations so that it feels like everyone wins. I feel like that's what this Venus in Cancer is. So mark your calendar, 27th to the 25th. And I know, Zane, you have a few more things to share about this transit.
Yeah, and with this transit of Venus moving into Leo from Cancer, Cancer was that energy of how do we nurture ourselves and try and create that comfy space. Leo is now activating that sense of how do I step into my power from that comfy spot that I've created that I can go back to. We're not leaving it permanently. We can always return. But how do I step into that spotlight of self-expression and being heart-centered for those for who I am, who you are, and being able to shine in that spotlight. And within that sense of when Venus moves into Leo here, we are exploring more of the ideas of inner child healing and exploring what the inner child wants, as Leo has that aspect of children. It's also creativity. And when it comes to creativity, we could be sharing stories about love, family, and self-nurturing, as those are themes around Venus being the family, self-nurturing, also kind of coming from that Cancer. So maybe sharing some of those stories that you experienced when Venus was in Cancer and bringing those out and sharing them in that spotlight and healing that inner child that maybe is a little bit nervous or afraid of the spotlight to step on stage and take that microphone and start speaking and being who you are and taking up space and being able to do that.
I love that. And since we are, as we're recording this, we are in Cancer season, there might be some things that might replay during this, but through the lens of Venus, the planet of love and connection, abundance. So if you came up with some ideas potentially, now's the time to simmer with them. Now's the time to be able, during this transit, to be able to utilize it. And depending on where Venus is in your natal chart, but also how Cancer is getting stimulated with her transit will give you some insights on how to really work with this energy based on your chart. So for myself, it is the house of children. So isn't it kind of funny that I'm already starting to invest a little bit further into the dreams of my children, being able to work together and expand our family business in a way that actually they're going to thrive in. So sometimes we want to make these decisions for other people thinking it's best for them. So maybe start to sort of reel back and go, how can I co-create with others? But then if you're wanting to take that personal route, is like, how do I show love and feel safe receiving it? I want to repeat that. How do I show love and feel safe receiving it? And then this other part of this other question for you to journal out and to sit with during this transit is what does emotional intimacy mean to me now? It might not be the same as what it was when you were little. And now it's being able to revisit what does that little one within me need? And if you're anything like me, it's like a fast red truck. Yep, that's what she needs is a fast red truck.
Yeah, that fast red truck that you feel like you just barely touched the gas pedal. Oh, hey, I'm 60 kilometers already.
Yeah, it has a Hemi. So it's fast.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, maybe there's something else where you can take this example of us sharing and storytelling from our perspective and to be able to integrate it into your own experience. So part of that is that we want to come into the body practice part. We want to be able to share this body practice so we can spend more time again with our group that shows up in the live action, being able to interact with us. For those that are watching the recording, you want to join that. We're going to make sure that down in the description there is a link so you can join us. We have all of our classes set up already all the way into December to help create that structure and build the community with you. And so with that, we will transition a little bit into our body practice for Leo season. And since Leo does rule the heart, Zane and I both thought it was really appropriate that we bring in the heart meridian. And the heart meridian it is in the armpit and it goes out on the outside of the arm and all the way out the pinky finger. For those that are watching our daily brews or like our little brew bits we share, or also our Meridian Mondays, you will see more meridians to trace week by week. But as far as Leo season is concerned, the whole gamut of that season, the heart meridian is going to help you just a transition. It does have a subtle way of getting into the transits that are coming for Leo season. Again, we're about small little tidbits helping you to align with the brew of what's happening in the sky. This tracing this meridian, Zane, you want to go over a couple of details about that? And those that are here on the live call, you can start to trace it and play with that energy. If you're watching the replay, you can start to play with this energy as Zane shares some more details.
With the heart meridian, it governs our joy. It helps reignite that joy, or maybe the connection and authenticity to Leo season and connecting us deeper to that Leo season energy. As when you trace it, it can kind of help with those blockages that might need the extra flow to when it comes to our emotions, self love, and that heartfelt courage when it comes to the heart meridian and Leo season. Very key point on end, like both of them coming together here as Leo, as Rochelle was saying, rules the heart when it comes to the body. And when you look at the body with astrology here, this also supports that self love when it comes to that Venus transit as well, bringing in that emotional self care and how to work with that transit further, breathing into that Venus energy to bring in more self love, joy, and bringing in that inner truth and letting that inner truth out and shine brightly with Leo season and, and connecting to our emotional expression and opening up to vulnerability and clear communication with our sense of self and communicating to ourselves. As when the heart meridian is in balance, we can feel warm, joyful, expressive, and confident. When we're out of balance and having the heart meridian out of balance, we may feel anxious, scared, scattered, closed off, or even over overexposed or overexerted, and that self-hate, tearing ourselves down, not good enough, feeling depressed and not feeling like in the best position at it overall. So tracing coming back to the heart meridian when we feel that way can be a step to coming out of that cycle and getting out of that cycle. Keywords as it can be a step, as there's many ways to get out of that cycle and not to continue spiraling in to that. As we trace this meridian in a way to get back to our body and awaken our nervous system with more love and self-expression, stepping into our spotlight, whatever that spotlight might look like for us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love this so much. So, part of if meridian tracing is new for you, it is a line that is on the body. I'm not sure if Zane is able to pull up the heart meridian and share the screen there just to show a little quick picture of it. There is so many on our Instagram grid that we've had shown before. So in case he's not able to, I'm just going to reference you over to our Instagram to be able to see what that heart meridian looks like. When we are tracing those meridians, there are electrical lines within our body that are connected back, yes, to the physical heart, but also like the heart energy within us. And so when we're tracing that meridian, we might want to go slow, we might want to go fast. This is our invitation for you to play attention to what your body needs based on your needs. And again, you don't have to do it while you're in this recording and watching the replay. This is a tool that you can use and grow with it and be able to really utilize the energy that and the pulsations within your body. So you might want to tap it. You might want to press hard. You might want to hover lightly. And if you're offering this to others, make sure you have permission before going and showing someone this tool as well. Because, especially again, talking to parents with children, teaching our children that permission is needed before they're touched then makes it so that they're having that autonomy, and then we're role modeling asking permission also so they don't invade our space without permission. So it's just deepening this intimacy with our children in other relationships. So as we're coming to a close with our Leo gathering, I want you to reach out, share some questions, share some ahas. What do you feel like you're taking away from this call? And as Zane is starting to bring that up, let me know if it's a little too much for you, because we can always just tap it in at the end. But I believe you're quite easeful in your navigation of that. Here's a question I want to leave you with. What would it feel like to fully live from my heart? And this might be what, as you're tracing this meridian, you might want to bring in this little bit of like, what would it feel like to fully live into my heart? What would it look like? What are some of the things that maybe we need to do as individuals for ourselves to fully live in from our heart? What would that be like? And I, as he's bringing this up, I want to voice for a moment, what would society look like and feel like if everyone came from a heart-centered space? I'm setting this intention. We're kind of getting closer to like less than a week away from the new moon in Leo, and an intention that I would love to set is that more find love with ease and connectedness, because it's together is better. I love that conversation and the capacity that, I think it's Jack Johnson's song Better Together. How's that screen share going?
It's been
Is that,
up for a
oh, because
while.
I'm on my phone and I can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I used a tech in a different way today. So there's the heart meridian. Here's some affirmations. You can go ahead and take a screenshot of this. This is a card deck that Zane and I had done as a study tool when we were learning the meridians and studying them. I think it's time for us to bring those back out and to find another way so that people can get their hands on that. Let us know in the chat too if that's like something you would like, is being able to access our Meridian deck. There's ways that you can connect with us and ask more questions about it. Zane, do you have anything that you want to add to this section before we close off? You'd love
Mm,
that. Aw, thanks, Caitlin. Yes, we're getting good feedback in the chat about
yeah.
this is a good idea.
Yeah, that's about it with the heart meridian. I brought up the affirmation card for the heart meridian. There's four other cards that go with the heart meridian that we have to the deck already, all question cards, but I feel the affirmation is very important here as it talks about the empowerment and stepping into who you are and that sense of Leo, where the question cards could be a lot of different things into the trail, where this affirmation will help you step into that power when it comes to your self expression during Leo season here.
That's so true. May you have a beautiful Leo season. Reach out for more support and know that you can find us on Instagram and Facebook as well here within YouTube, that you can follow along Instagram and Facebook. We post weekly, and then I also do little daily messages. So if you're wanting some more support that is complimentary, that is a way to go about it. If you're wanting to invest in your self-education, mentorship is available. Reach out. We can see if we're a fit to work together. And there's also just a little tidbit. It's a $44 membership where we give you 2 voice notes every month based on your chart and the transits and the goals that you're setting for yourself, so you can have more ease and more connectedness, and we call it stirring your own brew rather than feeling stirred by it. Thank you so much for watching. Well, if you've enjoyed this content and you want to share it with others, please do. We would love to reach more people and help more people. Right, Zane?
Yes, yes, more people is always great, but yes, having those that come live, it is a limited space as we only can show up to very few in our space. So then everybody has a turn to chance, a turn to chance that
Return
Mercury
to genius,
retrograde
return
come
to speak.
turn to speak. Yeah, that Mercury retrograde, as are recording this, it's going more and more stationary as it happens at 9:30, and we are approaching that 9 o'clock. So we're only an hour away from that Mercury retrograde as of recording this. So that tongue-tiedness of Mercury retrograde is coming, but then it also might be that long day for me as well. As Mercury retrograde, we can't blame everything on it. It's just doing what it does. But we may have other factors throughout our day. With that, I believe those are my closing thoughts. Thank you for joining. Thank you for those joining live. We will see you for Virgo season. Will be
Mhm.
the next one that we will have.
And that will be August 14th.
Yes.
Yeah, so come and join us. We would love to have you. And again, thank you so much for sharing, commenting, and leaving us some love down below. Thank you again to those that are here live. We're excited to answer any other questions that you might have. And for those that want to join us, please do. Come on, it'll be fun. Good night and have a wonderful day. That sounds good. Good night and have a wonderful day. Yep, tomorrow.
Yep. Have a good night and next day. Good. Bye.
Bye.